Oh God, the glasses are about to break. Okay, nice.
I'm
Look
in.
at that.
How's that look?
Looks
Good.
fantastic.
Orange.
Well, since it's a child's helmet, my chin is really up against the plastic here, but I'm gonna try to make it work. Okay. Oh yeah. Good morning and welcome to episode 1476 of Hard Factor. It is Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Everything you need to know in 40-ish minutes or less. But if you need more, go to patreon.com/hardfactor. Today, Pat's got a woman who was pronounced dead two times. Wow.
That's right. She came back to life and then died shortly thereafter.
Whoa. Okay.
That's a party trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. One you can only do once. It's like a bee with its stinger.
Right.
You could do it more though. It'd be cool. It would be impressive.
Man,
Wow.
you think there's ever a situation where like wasps grab like a young impressionable bee and they're like, yeah, kid, you know what's in stinging. And then they're like, watch me sting, 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 pulling it in, pushing it in, pulling out, pushing it.
Oh, right.
And like, you try it, kid.
And
And
it
then the bee
dies.
stings and then dies.
Just like serial killing prankster wasps, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a classic bee gag. Everybody knows. Plus, Pat's bringing the internet to the Amazon for us. Wow.
Well, I'm not. Elon Musk is.
Oh.
Yeah. Amazonian tribes getting that internet, but maybe it's not all that it was cracked up to be. There might be some issues arising related to the information superhighway being piped into remote villages in the Amazon.
Oh man, I'd love to get some hot takes from the Amazon tribes on the comment boards.
Well, you probably already are.
Yeah.
Because they are active.
Do they type in English or is it like a symbol?
That's a great question, Will, and we'll get into it. I had the same question.
Spanish?
I don't know.
Okay. Mark's got disgusting things for sale on the internet. Wow.
Yeah. We've kind of we've been in this world before, but I think there's one new item. And if it's not new, we're still going to talk about it. And it's disgusting.
Fantastic. There's a lot of disgusting shit for sale on the internet. You like the Temu ads I get in the banners shock me. The stuff they'll sell me straight from the factories, you know?
Yeah, this is going to be worse than what Temu's selling.
Okay. Worse than that.
Team is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They'll send you like military shit to your house. It's crazy.
Well, dude, it used to be like the hack used to be you could get on the Alibaba or AliExpress app. Alibaba, you need like you need to be ordering in bulk, but AliExpress was the hack. You could get on and see direct factory China sales in India, but it was still like shady and weird and kind of like B2B ish.
Temu's still shady and weird,
but
It's
it's
so
more
cheap.
user-friendly.
It's so cheap.
yes, yeah, cheap, and you can get whatever you want. Anything.
The deals.
If they make it at a Chinese factory, you can get it shipped to your door.
Like going
And
At
then
what price
tonight.
though? You know,
Well, at the price of, well, we'll talk about that when we go to the moon, because I'm reporting live from the moon on this episode. And we will talk a little bit more about Chinese innovation in that segment, because as terrifying and impressive as Temu is, the Chinese lunar program is about the same. So,
Women's lingerie from 8 cents. Yeah, I think so, Temu.
yeah,
those
no,
are
I
some
mean,
bargain panties, the kind that might fall apart. Oh no, sorry, honey, I got you a bunch of bargain panties.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they're
Pick
falling
up the
apart,
pieces.
honey.
Let me pick up a piece with my mouth.
Oh no, they're falling all apart.
sometimes it's a good thing, right?
What are you gonna do?
Oh, it's invisible print.
Oh no, you know you got no panties on. So
Yeah, so order those from Temu if you want
Yeah.
them to fall apart. Then you can do that. Right. That's it. That's the show. I mean, that's not
Yeah,
the
it's
end
a
of the
show.
That's
Bye.
what we're gonna do on this one.
all right, well let's do the news, guys.
Okay.
Well, let's take it to Nebraska, which is probably, if you put a list of states that people think about least, Nebraska is probably number 6 on that list, is my
Well, it's
guess.
up there. Does Idaho win, or does Rhode Island win, or does
Idaho is up there like crazy, dude. Idaho is damn near the top of the list.
Delaware
Nebraska
could be up there? Any of the small ones. But of course, president's from Delaware, and Rhode Island's the smallest. So people probably think about it when like, what's the smallest state? Rhode Island, and so comes up
right, but it's in New England. It's kind of like there's a lot of people. I mean, there's probably more people in Rhode Island than there are in South Dakota and North Dakota combined, is my guess.
Nebraska has Warren Buffett going for it, right? Because like that, ever since he's been around, people think about Omaha a lot.
Rhode Island's only got 1 million people. That's low. That's like less.
That's more. That's more than North Dakota and South Dakota combined for sure.
No
I think
way.
North Dakota's like 400.
No way.
You think? I think
North Dakota's
so.
800,000. Not combined. No, North Dakota's 800,000.
North Dakota is
South Dakota's got to have more than North Dakota.
800,000.
South Dakota's 909,000. So it's like
okay.
It's Rhode Island's slightly more populated, way more dense than North Dakota and South Dakota. Yeah.
Cool. Iowa definitely is a not very often thought about state. That's for sure.
Flyover state, right?
Yeah, but then again, Caitlin Clark. So
it's true.
Yeah.
On the contrary, a lot of people think about Montana. Okay?
And Garrett from Iowa. Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out Garrett from Iowa. Six inside. All right. Anyway, let's go to Lancaster County, Nebraska.
Montana's a good one. Not a lot of people think.
All right,
about
let's go
Montana.
to Nebraska.
Rest in peace, guys. We have a rest in peace. Resident Constance Glantz with a Z. She died this week, and she was 74. R.I.P. Constance.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah, Constance had been in hospice, so she was fighting the good fight. Things were not going great for her, and she passed. She was pronounced dead by the staff at the Mulberry Nursing Home in Waverly, Nebraska, where she was living. That was at 9:45 a.m. the other day.
That's a Nebraska ass name for a nursing home. Mulberry.
I think that's just a nursing home ass name for a nursing home.
It is.
They try to make it sound classic, something that like they enjoyed while they were still youthful.
Yeah.
Nursing home names are just it just make your skin crawl, Use it
awfully quiet Mulberry.
Yeah. A lot of Brooks, a lot of like Glens, Coves, Peaceful.
Right.
The word peace is in there a lot.
Yeah.
Whispering. Anyway, guys, she was pronounced dead.
Something like that, which just means like it reminds me of an estate sale. I'm like, that's this.
You don't want the word end in there, like Mulberry's End.
That's true.
No.
Oh,
you got to take that out.
Here are some nursing home names: Harmony Heaven, Tranquil Meadows, Golden Age Gardens, Peaceful Pines, Serenity Springs, Rosewood Retreat, Whispering Willows, and Heavenly Haven.
Yeah.
So
Heavenly Haven. It's just a tough one. That's like
better than Hellish Haven. Anyway, 9:45 a.m.
I don't know.
She dead.
Okay.
She did.
So they call the funeral home. They already had prearrangements going on because hospice, what's going down, right? She's in the nursing home.
Yeah.
And the funeral home picked her up and they took her body back to the facility. And I imagine that the coroner not the coroner, but the nursing home guy, the mortician or gal, probably put on some tunes, right? Maybe grabbed a quick snack, got in the mood to start messing with another dead body.
You probably got to smoke a cigarette right before you do all that because you don't want to smell it
after.
Yeah,
but
you don't mind if I jerk off, do you, honey?
And then he elbows the assistant. That's just a joke I make because they don't mind. Because they're dead. You'll learn. The assistant's not freaked out because he or she chose to go into the mortuary services.
Yep,
it's par for the course. Anyway, they were prepping the body. They turned around, and that's when they noticed something moving. And it was Constance. And cut to 11:43 a.m., Lincoln Fire and Rescue responded to the funeral home after someone called 911 saying that CPR was already in progress on a woman there, Constance, who they thought was dead, but was not dead at all. She came back to life, administered CPR.
Whoa.
Fire and Rescue came and grabbed her. Took her to the hospital where she died hours later.
Holy shit.
So they were almost right.
That's a rough
they certainly were not right.
You know what? That's also probably a common prank for like the new trainee, the person like the long running like mortuary owner, morgue owner probably somehow gets the body to move without touching it. to pretend
Right.
like it's
Oh,
gonna
right.
actually-
Like puts a fishing line on the arm.
yeah. Oh my God.
Hooks a battery up
Yeah,
to the
yeah, yeah.
car
Rigs it
battery
up.
in the toe.
Yeah.
yeah.
The,
You know that happens all the time.
oh my God.
Run!
Best prank ever.
There's like a they make a comment before they go into the room about hearing that some chemicals had leaked into the water supply.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that means, but
She's a weird color.
zombies.
In this case, though, Constance, she was really pranked. So did somebody? They didn't check her pulse before they sent her over to the morgue there.
Well, I think when you're so old, right,
Uh-huh.
there's less
Couldn't
medical
find one?
professionals involved. Yes, someone at the nursing home probably should have checked the pulse because there's definitely an RN on staff at the nursing
Maybe just put the
home.
2 fingers there on her neck and then don't put her in the body bag.
But
if
she
she's
wasn't
got pulse.
That old. You said 75.
74, but she was in hospice. So
Okay.
here I learned quite a bit about
Still,
hospice.
you would have a pulse. You would assume.
You would, Willie, but so hospice, when my dad was sick, when he was like trying to figure out what to do, we were like, okay, things aren't good. Hospice was an option. A couple people who'd been through the rigmarole before, who were medical health professionals, were like, well, be careful, because once you get in hospice, they're waiting on you to die. You
Right.
know,
It's like a waitress trying to turn a table. Or waitress
Right,
trying to-
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They want you out of there. So
Get
they're
on
gonna-
out of there, bud. Just, can I bring you the check?
Right. This is a like they're expediting the process by not checking the pulse. They're like,
Right.
she seems dead enough. I'm just going to toss her in the body bag,
Right.
call it in.
Exactly. Well, that's
Yeah,
one
no,
more. We got a
Next
lot of
order.
people who want this bed.
Make it a female because we don't want to do too much redecorating. And she really femmed it up in here.
Yeah, so there was probably that situation where they were like, okay, good. She's dead. Let's get her out of here. Call the funeral home. Funeral home comes over. She dead? Yeah, she dead. Put her in there. This is my assistant, Brian. He's new. Hey, Brian, thinking about being a mortician, huh? Uh-huh. Yeah.
A lot of crossover.
Yeah. He's got a real good sense of humor. Doesn't talk much, but trust me on that one.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, let's go get the body.
Don't fall for the fishing line gag, Brian. They're going to get you.
All right, Brian, put that car battery right there on that table and come over here and help me with this body.
You know, they get a buddy to like, or they turn on like an AM radio station and a buddy's just the other end being like, oh my God, it's disastrous out here. They're
Right,
attacking
exactly.
everyone.
To sell the zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse
yeah.
situation.
War of the World style.
I mean, there's definitely been a B movie that started in a morgue with the zombie shit. But
sure.
Yeah.
the
Plenty.
I wonder, because old people get so bored, right? It's a tough life being that old. If any pranksters try to get to the morgue as a prank, like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna see if they can. I'm gonna see if they'll send me to the morgue if I breathe shallow enough, and I'll be
I'm gonna
back by
scare 'em.
lunchtime.
Right before they cut me open, I'm going to scare them.
We'll have quite a laugh.
That would
Anyway.
be a great prank.
Rest in peace, Constance. Let's go down to the Amazon, guys.
Okay.
So Starlink, okay, Elon Musk's company that provides high-speed internet via satellite, allegedly. We've talked about this quite a bit on the show, but insane fact, Starlink has 6,000 low-orbiting satellites, which is 60% of all spacecraft, period. So
How'd they
if
get the
you wonder
clearance
if
for that?
Elon Musk is just going to get richer and more powerful, there's your answer. He's
He
put himself in an
controls the skies.
unstoppable situation. Yeah, like it's scary how much of the satellite communication satellites that he controls, which is 60% of
Well, yeah.
It's nuts.
SpaceX was a big part of his plan, obviously.
You better
Big
be
part of
nice-
it,
you better
and
be nice to that guy. I don't wanna
You better be
upset
nice
him.
to him.
Don't
I mean, he's
upset
getting
him.
phone calls from the Russian government and the
Yeah.
Ukrainian government, being like, shut the internet off to Ukraine, or please no, keep the internet on, Elon. Like, it's a weird position for him to be.
Being a global ISP with no like actual infrastructure on Earth for the most part must be pretty amazing. Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well, he's
Yeah.
about
So-
to have you in your, on the roads when he's got all the Teslas that he can program. He's got you in the skies and the internet, and he's about to have you in your houses with all the robot butlers that are all
Oh,
his.
cannot wait. Please move up the timeline on the robot butler.
He's gonna
project.
get you if he wants to get you.
And he's totally stable. So
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, he's
it's
fine.
really good dude to have that level of power,
Yep.
not vindictive or weird.
Stable
Because
genius.
he put fart mode in the Teslas. Honk the horn. It sounds like a fart. Cool.
42069. I'm like a common guy, right? I love tits.
It's me, common guy.
And then like the revving sounds, I never got that. I thought one of the cool parts of having an electric car was that it was silent, and then he puts all the revving sounds.
Hey, everyone get my stock to 420, and then I'm going to stop it. I'm going to halt it. I'm going to halt it
at 42069 though.
Well, that'd be great, but it's also come out that I've only smoked weed one time.
Right.
It was with Joe Rogan on the podcast, and I'm not allowed to do it anymore.
Right.
Only for the cameras. He does take ketamine though. He has a prescription.
That's right.
Sure. Okay. Anyway, about 20 of his Starlink satellites made it down to the Amazon, to the Marubu tribe. Okay. Marubo, excuse me. And they are in a remote part of the Amazon in, I believe, what's Brazil, or on the border of Brazil in the north west part of the country. There's about 2,000 Marubo, and I don't think Musk donated the satellites. I'll have to check on that, but they ended up there, right? So there's 20 Starlinks in this tribe.
So they got 20 receivers, so they can access the
20
internet.
connectors, right? So you could have the 2,000 people, like with relatively solid bandwidth, right? All connecting, to the 20 different,
like a mesh network for their whole little tribal area. Right?
Well, each one is independent. Right?
Okay.
So anyway, they got down there, and the tribe was pretty fired up. And this is a tribe that's pretty conservative. They frown upon kissing in public. They've been living in this area in the Amazon for hundreds and hundreds of years, deep in the forest. But it's created some problems, guys.
Yeah.
Let's just say that hunting, right, which is their main source of food, has dramatically decreased. And there's become a bit of a problem with internet porn addiction. That's right, guys. Many Marubu men, right, who live in a culture where frowning in public or kissing in public is frowned upon, they've been really getting into the porn, sharing porn in group chats, and the leader has already observed more, quote, aggressive sexual behavior in some of them. It got so bad.
Try this out.
Yeah,
it got
giving me some ideas.
Well, zero context, and you see like a fisting video, and then you're looking at,
hopefully they're not going that far. Just maybe get
a woman from your tribe. And I got to censor myself real quick because my son just walked in. But of course. Essentially, they had to turn the internet off, right, to just a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, and all day Sunday, because people were just beating it and not hunting. Yeah. And if you don't hunt, you don't eat over there.
Well, when you first get access to, any porn you want to Google for on your phone, it's got to be just mind blowing. And especially if you're a full grown man. Look at him, that guy. He's just staring at
go a few days without eating. That's a big guy. It looks like no food today.
Yeah.
It's busy day.
Or another week of jacking off.
Yeah.
With my new internet, before
they're like heroin addicts.
Yeah, they're up all night. Yeah.
Anyway.
That's awesome. Good for them. Well, the Marubu,
living the life.
The Marubu tribe might want to listen up to this story I'm about to do, since now they got the internet, because this is gonna be right up their alley. So yeah, I got some disgusting things on the internet for sale. First up, remember, long time fans of the show might remember, and you guys might remember, Deb the Demander.
Oh,
Reno.
Yes,
Deborah the Demander, the candidate who was selling her soiled underwear online.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
She came on the show.
Yeah, we spoke.
That's right, Pat. She was the Evanston, Wyoming woman running for town council that we interviewed almost 6 years ago, when she got kicked out of the race for selling her used panties.
Well, it was heavily soiled, right?
Yes.
Her thing was like super soiling them, right?
Oh, absolutely. Well, that cost extra. Her used moist panties.
Right.
Sorry, I was just trying to get a few people to throw up putting those two words together.
Soiled.
Yeah.
These were she was gardening in them on a hot Wyoming day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she would work out.
Those were her descriptions. Yeah,
like she would work out with them, but that costs extra. If she wore them for more than one day, that costs extra.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Multiple days.
I believe we asked her if the requester or the purchaser could control the diet or put it in diet.
Yeah. No, well, we asked that about the next person we interviewed, Pat, because we move on from her to then. If you remember, we then interviewed 90 Day Fiance star and fart jar selling Stephanie Matto, who we definitely asked if we could have, if the people could control your diet. And that looks like she's holding up a turd in a jar, but she would sell farts in a jar. And then she started her own fetish website for creators to sell sweat and weird stuff. And
she'll sell you anything. Yeah, and any of her creators will too. I think she wants us to be on the site still to sell our bodily fluids.
That's right. She did ask us to join as creators. And so
Yeah.
we started with Deb the Demander, and that was our first diving into the world, and then moved on to Stephanie. And since we've checked out some websites where you can just buy hundreds of women's used panties and stuff. But
And
today,
you could get
Yeah.
soiled of any variety you want there on the internet. Yeah.
we're well versed in this world now. Today I have a new one for you, I believe. Sububis, which means underwear in Latin. Sub is under, and ubis is where, as in location. So a little play on words.
Okay.
Because the site started by an anonymous 32-year-old woman, sells all the stuff I mentioned previously, as well as used tampons for the really sick bastards out there.
What the fuck? That's a little over the line. The
No.
fart in the jar thing seems like tame compared to that. That's a
Yeah, Will.
whoa.
Fart in a jar is a harmless prank compared to a used tampon.
Who has like a Red Wings fetish? Like that.
Well, can you imagine how happy the sicko is when the used tampons show up? He's basically he's following the UPS and FedEx trucks for miles, eyes glued to the tracking. Come on, it's a red light. Used tampon purchasers might show up to the distribution center to shave a half day off delivery time. You know what I mean?
Did you say the week of the 14th? It's gonna be a pretty busy week for me. Can we reschedule it to the week after?
got a few shipments coming in?
Got some business to attend to at home alone in my basement.
Calling FedEx if they're late. You're a little late. You know?
These guys, what are they? I mean, what are they just sniffing it, or are they making drinks with it?
Now is it on dry ice?
They're eating it. Well, they're doing everything. I mean, what do you think they're doing with it? They're shoving it in their nose, their mouth, their butts. They're making drinks out of it. It's a bookmark for their books, like everything. Wow. Now that's sububis.ch because it's a Swiss website, and there are a few women you can choose products for, and those range from soiled undies, gross, sweaty socks to used tampons with or without napkin. Your decision there. You pick. They will bleed into whichever tampon style you want to shove in your mouth later. So there. Yeah, and this. Yeah, love a good popsicle in the summer, Mark. That's right. Yeah, a little hot. I think you can even select which day. Like day 2 is usually like a heavier flow, so you want that day 2 tampon, right? And this is on the show today because someone at Yahoo News decided to interview the owner of Sububis, who's the 32-year-old anonymous woman, and I saw that article. So that's why we're talking about it. Apparently, the site is really bringing in some money, but not with some.
Don't say.
Yeah,
the one site on the internet that was made in a Swiss area because it's the only place you can sell used tampons probably is bringing in some money on the internet. You don't say.
If I told you that the price was 69 francs, whether you wanted them with or without napkins, wouldn't you say they'd probably spend a lot more, Mark?
And that is cheap.
Wanted.
Yeah,
that is cheap.
Couple hundo. Yeah,
they'd spend whatever the fuck you asked. But yeah, the lady said that it's really bringing in the money, but not without some downfalls, as a few of the 7 models, which are like 6 women and 1 male on the website, have been stalked, believe it or not, because
shit.
Yeah, used tampons are great, but what if you could just have her in a basement bleeding directly into your mouth through a funnel you're on the other end of? Am I right?
Yeah.
Right.
These people are collecting their blood. I mean, this is
well,
how is it anywhere? I mean, Switzerland needs to check the laws. Like that.
There comes a time in any entrepreneur's life where you realize that you need to not just purchase the product for resale, but control the supply chain. And I think that's what people are looking to do here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Go straight to the source.
Yes, Pat.
She's pimping out these women's cycles. It's wild.
Do you think guys that buy used tampons might know how to track someone down on the internet?
Oh, yeah.
I think they got a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah.
And blood.
And blood on their hands for sure. And
they can hide their IP address, no problem.
So yeah, anyways, that's my story today.
That's funny. Wow. Yeah. It's a weird you guys ever heard the phrase sempre ubi sububi?
Mm-hmm.
Always wear your underwear. But it's where in Latin. Underwhere.
Where is
like where are
location? W-H-E-R-E.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll never tell is what they should be saying.
Yeah, where is what the guys are asking.
Yeah.
The website's hilarious, by the way. I think I have a picture of just like their top logo. There's a lady in a butt, and then when you scroll down, you can pick the 6 models, and it's just pictures of underwear all the way up their butts.
I mean, it's a great looking website. And when you said Sububis,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be something about like, you know, the trend of chicks showing more underboob. So when you then went into it's about people buying used tampons, I was really disappointed.
Well, that's just part of it, right? It's mostly underwear, but used tampons are like.
Well, everyone on the website offers the tampons probably by popular demand. It was probably tested, and it tested well.
I would much rather the underboob Sububis website as opposed to this one.
I think their top seller is the underwear, quickly followed by as fast as they can produce used tampons.
Right. That just comes with your order.
These guys are like checking the calendars.
It's like a mint on the pillow.
Looks like it'll be another
fancy hotel.
14 days before Lana bleeds. Okay.
Hey, you're early. I don't like
is this
like
real? Yeah, you're
like an autistic guy.
Yeah, right.
Autistic guy is very routine.
No, I'm not stalking. I wanted to check to see if you're okay. You were early this month.
What is this? What is this?
Just seeing if you're okay, Lana.
Where's the QA sticker on this unit?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you know that
smelled a little off this month.
He needs it verified that it was like collected. The sample was secured that day when it was fresh. These guys are going to take it seriously.
Yeah, the clients there should be jailed.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's just like a honeypot for whoever runs the CIA of the whole globe, right?
I mean, I guarantee you, one of the agencies is working with Sububis to get the client list.
It's like an online daddy. Yeah. It's like or Epstein.
It comes with the used tampon comes with a tracking device for sure.
Right. There's a chip in it. So when they eat it, they're tracked.
All right, we gotta move on. They're
definitely eating these things. 100%.
Let's move on.
All right.
All right. Okay. Space. As you can see, if you're watching the show, you can see I'm reporting from the surface of the moon today. I'll try to put on the moon helmet. Let's see here.
Oh boy. Don't get stuck. Take the hat off. Oh God, the glasses are about to break. Okay, nice.
I'm in.
That.
He's in.
I'm in.
That looks fantastic.
How's that look?
Looks fantastic.
Well, since it's a child's helmet, my chin is really up against the plastic here, but I'm gonna try to make it work. Okay.
Let's get Will an adult one. Throne.com.
Yeah. That would be nice. Send me an adult one. Okay. So while Project Artemis, for the United States to get us back on the moon has been delayed indefinitely. Well, not indefinitely, but pretty much indefinitely due to having to change contractors all the time, several times now. Now it's a SpaceX rocket with a Lockheed cruise ship launching a crewed test in late 2025. And then there's a moon landing allegedly, in 2026 that's happening, but nothing with that has ever happened on time. So we'll see what happens, right? Artemis, you guys are familiar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it delayed still?
Oh yeah, forever. But I mean, still what I just told you, but it's really not going to happen, because it just feels like whenever they delay it, it gets delayed again. There was the Boeing launch that got scrubbed. That's just trying to take people to ISS. I'll tell you about that in a second. But our delays haven't stopped the Chinese from continuing to dominate, the moon, the entire moon, space advances with the moon in the 21st century, taking it to the internet. Okay. At the Planetary Guy posts update, we now have visual confirmation that the Chang'e 6 ascent module with its lunar samples has blasted off from the surface of the moon. Here's that video, fellas. It is rather impressive. So that is a robotic sample collector on the surface of the dark side of the moon, collecting its samples, and then with a pretty crystal clear video there from the launch pad of it then launching itself into space to be picked up by another Chinese spaceship that's going to bring the first ever samples of the moon from the dark side of the moon back to the Earth to China.
Yeah, let's do that. Good idea.
I'm not a rocket scientist, but
it's pretty impressive.
There seem to be no propulsion coming off that thing.
Well, it's because it's a robot.
Okay.
So it used a robotic arm to drill, into the surface of the moon, collect the samples. It's all robotic. Okay. They were the first country to land.
Probably something about the gravity on the moon, right? Pat, you probably don't need a ton of propulsion to get up.
Okay. I see where you're going with that.
Maybe.
True. And it's light itself, right? It's just
you don't want to launch yourself into oblivion. You just got to get up.
Yeah. So but it's pretty impressive, right? And so this is all happening while we're supposed to finally fly the crew mission to the Boeing Starliner and the Atlas V rocket today at 10:52 Eastern Time, United States. Which this is just to take people to the low orbit International Space Station. That's what the Boeing Starliner does, is that the launches kept getting scrubbed. The same as any other SpaceX, Northrop Grumman, Japanese, or Russian shuttle. And then China, at the same time as we're struggling with all that, is already launching lunar samples off of the moon back to Earth.
Well, can we
much more advanced?
Can't we? Maybe we should allow them to. Are they allowed in the ISS? Because can't we test
I think they took themselves out because they were that much.
Do we really need to bring it straight to Earth? Can we check the samples maybe in space somewhere, like an ISS? China doesn't have
worried about these dark side of the moon.
China doesn't have a great track record recently of.
Well, they're not going to share the data,
releasing things. Well, I mean, like the fucking coronavirus. Like, do we really need to bring moon shit that we've never even fucking tested before back to Earth directly?
True. Well, but when you are the most advanced and doing all the cool shit, you get to decide what you're going to do with the moon samples. So they're bringing them back to Earth. Supposed to get here in about 20 something days. And if, Mark, the lunar samples do make it back to Earth, this will make China the first and only country ever to have successfully collected lunar samples from the far side of the moon and bring them back. So
cool.
We pretty much, I mean, like it's very impressive to say the least.
Yeah.
It's something that, for the USA to look up to shoot for, once we finally make it back to the front side of the moon in maybe 2026, maybe. And then we'll see about the far side of the moon and Mars after that, of course, because those things are definitely going to happen.
I've heard a lot of good things about the dark side of the moon. This should be totally safe. What they should do is take some of the samples and sprinkle them in those used tampons that those guys are definitely going to eat, and then see how those guys do.
Yeah. Would you guys smoke a moon rock? Not like a moon rock.
Dude, I've dipped my finger in a lot of bags of moon rocks and had a blast doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, moon rocks on Earth, fantastic. What I'm saying is, would you smoke a rock from the moon?
I'd smoke rock.
Not unless someone, not the first person to do it. No,
I mean, you wouldn't. Just like you might need a blowtorch to light the bowl, But then once it got going, just smoke a little rock dust.
We're gonna die on the moon.
Yeah, it might give you powers. I don't know, but yeah, it's not good. How you guys feel about the Chinese being the best in space?
Don't care.
Yeah, not surprised. Good for them. Whatever.
Not worried about the space race, the Red Scare.
Not really, man.
I'm worried about them bringing the stuff back. Aren't they going to start? A couple countries going to start building, like China, and someone else going to start building. Like
we are supposed to. That's Project Artemis. We're supposed to build a base on the moon, but we can't ever get
moon bases and towns, moon towns. I got a question for you. Would you live on a moon town?
I mean,
probably not, unless it was like perfect.
Rather live there than Mars, probably.
Well, is Reno perfect? Will
it's the Earth. The Earth is pretty fucking perfect, but unless they made perfect Earth-like environments for
Reno. Better than the moon.
That's a good, yeah.
It certainly is. I would say that. A lot fewer gunshots in your ear than Chicago too. And Coach Doug's in the chat. I got to try one of those moon rocks. Dude.
All right, look, if we're all doing it, I'm a sucker for peer pressure, But I'll take thirds in the rotation. I'm gonna be staring at you guys and seeing how you're doing.
I thought that would take longer. You guys got anything else?
That's all good, baby.
Oh, yeah. Well, we could talk about the Biden thing real quick. We forgot to talk about the Biden thing. Biden did an executive order. He just basically at the border stopped asylum seeking, what Trump tried to do in 2018 and the courts blocked it. He basically signed an executive order that goes into effect midnight Tuesday into Wednesday. And it temporarily shuts down asylum requests once the average number of daily encounters tops 2,500 between official ports of entry, which it's way past. So it just goes into effect this Wednesday morning. And then they can turn asylum back on if the border requests, like people trying to come in per day, gets below 1,500, which it hasn't for a very long time. And there's just a very few exemptions. Like if you're an unaccompanied child, I think you can still get asylum, but basically
he's basically saying
throw you out.
now is the time to shut down the border
Right.
5 months before the election. It wasn't the
Right.
time to shut down the border for the 3 years and 8 months before, and sorry, 7 months before that.
Yes.
Now, 5 months before the election, now is the time to shut down the border.
They say timing is everything, Will.
Right.
But I guess that goes into effect. He executived it. And then, Eric, thanks for the facts. We got some of that. Arrest for illegal crossings may climbs. Daily average as high as 6,700 in July for people trying to get in. We're just going to arrest them, toss them back out, it looks like. And then I also almost did
Deportations, right?
I almost did this story. We had a picture, but it turned out to be old. We might have done it before. This is from 2019 that I found today somehow. And it's a picture of 6 Chinese men. Let's stay in China. And that's 5 hitmen and the guy who hired them in their jail outfits, which look like underwear. Don't go to Chinese prison. Good Lord. And you might be like, why did a guy hire 5 hitmen? And he didn't. The rich businessman over there on the far right paid $282,000 USD for one hitman to kill his business rival back in 2013. And that guy subcontracted it to the guy next to him, who subcontracted it to the guy next to him, who subcontracted to the guy next to him, who subcontracted to the guy next to him, who then got cold feet. Obviously, they took like $50,000 each. And he's like, $283,000. I'll offer you $200,000 to kill him. The next guy's like, I'll offer you $150,000 to kill him. And the last guy got cold feet because he's a pussy, because they're all pussies and didn't do their job. And he met the businessman that was supposed to be killed at a cafe, and he said, hey, I got offered $75,000 to kill you. Maybe you should fake your own death. And that guy went straight to the cops, and now they're all in jail.
Wow. That's it doesn't speak highly to the hitman culture in China. So you're not going to have much reliability there. If that's the culture, terrible. Everybody's passing the buck. Nobody's willing to take the shot themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible hitman culture over there in China.
But they don't have guns, do they? Those hitmen would have to like strangle somebody with their hands or like
poison.
Use a blade. Poisoners. What's legal to have in China?
You can get guns in China. Japan is where there aren't guns.
You can get a gun in China.
Well, they're like technology.
Gun anywhere.
3D print a gun, yeah.
But can you buy a gun in China?
I mean, yeah, bro, you can buy anything. I mean,
private ownership of firearms is largely prohibited, but not to hitmen, probably.
Yeah, but they invented the gun, the Chinese, so.
You could kill them with fireworks.
Well, I mean, Samuel Colt perfected it, right? I mean, they made gunpowder.
I think you're thinking of Smith and Wesson, Pat.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyways, that was an old story. But Sabubis, if you want to order used tampons, that's the show, right?
All right.
Yeah. Sabubis. Oh man. It's not under boob. Just
if it was US, I was gonna send you guys some used tampons, but I'm not gonna
no.
Oh, I would.
No, nobody send us those. But I do check
anyone
out.
Has a US site, let me know. I'm gonna send Pat and Will used tampons.
Do check out the Throne page, the Throne Hard Factor page on Throne. People have been sending us hilarious stuff. If you want to see us, use it on the show. The Biden bobblehead still keeps me company every single day. And I'm just so happy that Joseph Robinette Biden,
shut down the border, Jack.
I'm so happy he's here to advise me with his sage wisdom all the time. And it's just, it's a good feeling. So thank you. Thank you to Throne. Thank you to listeners. And, what would Joe do, guys? Just ask yourselves.
Yeah, we're bipartisan. So if you want to even it out and send us a Trump jumpsuit one, we'll put that up too. But yeah, that's the show, right?
Yeah, that's it. Go to patreon.com/Hard Factor if you want more Hard Factor, because we got up to 3 weekly bonus podcasts on there. Plus, you get Discord chat access to the host. So, like, want to talk shit with us off show hours? Feel free, join the Discord, patreon.com/Hard Factor. Most importantly, get out there and have yourself a great fucking day.